The Lexus brand has bought us many things over the years, but prior to 2017, the company had never made a 7-seat car. This longer wheelbase L version of the marque's 4th generation RX luxury SUV put that right, with subtle changes over the standard model, enabling a 3rd seating row to be inserted at the rear. Otherwise, all the RX features that loyal buyers like are carried over intact. This RXL body style has really broadened this model's appeal and was usefully updated in 2019 to create the car we're going to look at here. This RX model is a full hybrid. Don't confuse that with the mild hybrid tech that rivals use. Full hybrids have much larger batteries and therefore much more of an electrified remit, which in this case is mated to a 308 brake horsepower 3.5 litre V6 petrol engine. Plus you get an E4 four-wheel drive system whose functions have been tuned for quick response when accelerating through bends. There's no real off-piste stability, of course. Lexus thinks that potential buyers won't really be interested, and they're probably right. As for handling, well, other rivals offer a more involving drive, but the RX is still one of the most comfortable and refined SUVs in its class. Not too many dynamic changes feature with this revised version of the AL20 series model. Apparently, the structure is slightly stiffer, there are new shock absorbers, and the RX is now equipped with active cornering assist, torque vectoring to maximise cornering traction. There are clever new BladeScan Adaptive High-beam headlights too. Otherwise, it's as you were. In creating this RXL, the designers were clear that the standard RX model's distinctive coupe-like profile had to be preserved. But look more closely and you'll notice that not only is the RXL longer at the rear, that's thanks to an extra 110mm of rear overhang, but that the angle of its tailgate has also been made slightly steeper. That final fine adjustment is actually important in making sure that there's comfortable headroom for anyone sitting in the 3rd row of seats. Move to the front, and if you're familiar with this 4th generation RX model, you'll note that in this improved form it features smarter bumpers and a redesigned front spindle grille. The cabin does, of course, completely replicate that of a normal RX model at the front, and, like a normal RX, has been recently improved with the addition of a revised multimedia centre dash touchscreen that, at last, features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone mirroring. The rear bench sits directly on top of 3 battery packs that power the hybrid drive system and offers leather-stitched luxury embellished by the way that these seats slide and recline for greater long-distance comfort. These rearmost seats are finished to the same high quality as the rest of the cabin, but as you might expect, are really only intended for kids. They could, though, now be used for adults on shorter trips thanks to changes that Lexus has made to this revised model, which have introduced a second seating position angle back here, which can free up an extra 94mm of leg space when the situation demands. You get vents provided on both sides, separate air conditioning controls, and you can also use a pair of provided electric switches to alter the seating position. Raise the powered tailgate and you'll find that, as with any 7-seat SUV which has all 3 seating rows in place, there's very little boot space, just 176 litres in this case. Fold the 3rd row into the floor though, which can be here done electrically, and the capacity figure for the format that most owners will commonly use rises to 432 litres. That's measured to the tonneau cover, which is only 21 litres less than you get from a standard RX in this configuration. The returns on offer from the RXL 450h are virtually the same as those for the 5-seat model. So the combined cycle return from the full hybrid engine, WLTP rated at 34.4 miles to the gallon, is very little different, as is the case with the NEDC emissions figure, 138 grams per kilometre of CO2 with 18-inch wheels fitted, which equates to a super low 31% benefit in kind taxation rating that'll save you a considerable amount over what you'd pay for a diesel engine rival, even a mild hybrid diesel engine model. While other manufacturers dithered over hybrid technology, Toyota's Lexus division got on and developed it. Their first hybrid RX was an impressive achievement, and this fourth generation design has added more style and extra technology to existing strengths of comfort, refinement and a high specification. It's a tempting package, and in RXL form, a usefully more spacious one.